Yo, what's going on? Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. We about to get into some real content hours. Um, I want to discuss a couple things today, right? So the one of the things we're gonna discuss is we're gonna discuss how the NBA and the NFL differ as far as popularity, right? And I want to talk about why I think the NBA is even like relevant at this point. I might even discuss how relevant that's going to be after LeBron retires. Um, and also we're going to discuss the James Harden, Dame Lillard thing, which ties into number one. So it's been fairly obvious. This cat going crazy in here. It's been fairly obvious. Um, that over maybe I would say the past since about I mean the start of this, the real revelation of this is LeBron going to Miami, right? But that was like 10 years ago. We can start blaming LeBron for all this stuff, even though that is the genesis of a lot of this stuff. Is he's the biggest star, so a lot of people are just gonna do what he does, or try to simulate that Kevin Durant, naturally. That's just what happens. It's just what goes on. Um, I would say that the NBA is we could absolutely know and see and understand it is a players' league. These guys get 100% of their contracts, no matter pretty much no matter what. No team cuts you. Um, you can be like certain players and really not play at all, still get paid. Um, you can get away with a lot of stuff with the NBA, and you still gonna get a guaranteed contract and the guaranteed contracts in comparison to football. We can all agree that football is a much harder, taxing sport on your body. Of course, a lot of contact. Um, but Tyrese Halliburton just got like 250 million, 300 million, whatever you got. Tyrese Halliburton probably won't ever make the playoffs. Like in like another 5 years, he won't even go to the playoffs. He hasn't even competed for the playoffs. He hasn't even competed for what's the seeding, the extra seed of the playoff. Like he he did he will barely be past 500. He won't even be past 750, a 750 a win percentage, and he probably has the biggest contract in the NBA. So it's just a huge difference in discrepancy on how much the players make and how much the players take in, and it seems as though to me, and this has been evident for years. I don't think this is anything new. That the only interest that we have in the NBA is the drama. We know, they know that the players don't actually care about the basketball. With every time an older player says it about the previous generation, a little bit of that is true because obviously and I saw a clip with this yesterday, and this made me really come to light about this. Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett was talking. I was gonna say Durant. Kevin Garnett was talking, and Paul Pierce used to always he said that Kevin Garnett would tell him, "Look how much these guys change when they get a big contract. They get worse." He's like, he got $100 million in contract money. He plays worse the next year. Because technically, keep it real. Life is already over. 100 million. You can kiss my grits. I'm done. Technically, it's over already. We done. We done cashed out. That's just one contract. Like I just said, Halliburton's got about 250, 300, whatever. He's got 200, something crazy. He's the definition of unproven right now. I think he's a very good player. I'm not going in to say he's undeserved, whatever. That's not my. I don't. That's not my. It don't matter. But he hasn't actually proved anything to get. I assume he has the biggest contract in the NBA, or at least top five right now. And I understand that. Well, I don't understand it. I don't get it all the way, but 100 million, $200 million would make you think a lot different about things. So The NBA already know that the fans have lost a lot of general interest into the NBA. So why we have play-in seasons. What I was trying to say, play-in games, and the two additional two play-in games. If you lose one and win the other one, you can still kind of get in. I don't know what happened. Miami lost one, they won the other, and they still was able to get to the playoffs and get all the way to the finals. Um, I don't know why this wasn't a wild card situation like March Madness. Duh, you got one game to get it done, dummy. How do you go 1-1 and still make it into the playoffs? I really don't understand that. Now they have mid-season cup and the commissioners cup and all this extra stuff. You got players that don't want to play, whether they're hurt or not. It really don't matter, because they're not playing the games. You playing 40, 45 games, 82 game season. And these are veteran players, these are younger players, these are all type of players. You have players like Kate Cunningham, who was injured, who could have possibly came back at the end of the year. I mean, he sat the entire year. He was told to sit the entire year, I assume. Um, so you have a lot of cases. I always bring up John Wall. He's making $47 million, got traded to the Rockets, and probably didn't play 10 games. And he wasn't hurt. The Rockets just told him, you don't have to come. Like, okay, bam, you paying me $40 million, you telling me I don't have to come to work? Okay, like, what kind of decision you really want me to make? So, you know, the the thing we like the most about the NBA is not the game really anymore. There's a couple good games throughout the year. Um, the playoffs was pretty good, but the game is not. The game is not very exciting. Um, Whereas in the NFL, if anybody has been kind of on your social media doing whatever on the NFL, I've been seeing training camp tapes. Motherfuckers is watching spring training. Like, it's posted on the timeline. People is talking about it. Like, man, you see this foot move, you see out there, you, bruh. We not even watching FIBA. We not even watching the USA compete against other countries. That ain't on my timeline at all. I ain't hearing people speak about that at all. Meanwhile, in the NFL, people genuinely, you could tell, people genuinely just love football. OTA, bruh, people watching everything. The preseasons, people's watching everything. Motherfuckers talking about Browns, Eagles preseason on the timeline other night, like last night, whenever this was. People's discussing quarterbacks and divisions right now. You don't even know what teams is in what divisions in the NBA. You just know conferences. I just think it's just a it, do we just like the superstars about basketball? Is it only about the superstars? That seems to be the only thing. The ratings is dropping, the attendance is dropping. We know it's a good chance the a person may not be there. Why would I buy? I want to see Kawhi. I think Kawhi's one of my favorite players. If Ka- when Kawhi plays, there is a 90% chance. I don't care who they playing. When Kawhi Leonard is playing, not 90, there's a 95% chance he's the best player on the court. I don't care if he's playing against LeBron. I don't care if he's playing against Kevin Durant. I don't care who he's playing against. When Kawhi is on the floor, there is a really, really good chance he's the best player on the court. I'm talking offense and defense. He makes a tremendous difference. This man ain't played no games in 4 years. This man playing 40 something games, 30 something games, 4 years. Y'all know it's injury, and I know some of it may not be. And I know it's not, some of it's not be. It's not injury. Because his coach has spoken about it. Their president of operations. I believe Jerry West, their president of operations at one point. He's a senior advisor, whatever he is. He's spoken about it. How they supposed to win when these guys don't play? Him and Paul George. The NBA is they ain't quiet right now because there are two players they're locking up the news of the NBA and they're locking up other teams for making moves. A lot of people are waiting to see what happens with Dame Lillard. What happens to Miami? What does Miami give up? What does Portland give up besides Dame Lillard? Who else is getting shipped out? Who is going to try to get James Harden? We've seen the Clippers. What if James Harden doesn't get dealt at all? Who wants to go to a Philly game with Embiid, Tobias Harris, and Maxey? Who even cares? How much playoff hope do you even see for them? Why would they even care? Because James Harden, as much as people may dislike James Harden is still one of the best players in the NBA. If you have him not sitting and you don't get a trade for him, you don't get assets for him, that's assets or him individually that's not playing. Why would I care? Keep it real. Again, the check is already cashed. The check is cash. Um, so I've been seeing no podcasts, all of my favorite podcasts not coming out. Nobody is discussing anything. When the last time you even see basketball discussed on your timeline? Again, we have the Team USA competing for gold medals. Nobody give a shit. So I think they've done just a huge discredit to basketball. I didn't watch any basketball games last year. I watched some playoff games, but the regular season Pelicans. Why would I watch the Pelicans? Everybody's hurt. Who am I watching? What am I watching for? The love of the game? Nah, nigga, we've been losing the whole time. How much love I'm supposed to show, nigga? Ain't nobody else showing it. Why would I keep dumping my time in? The niggas who get paid to dump their time in don't care. So what you want me to do? So I don't know if y'all see this. You let me know what y'all think about just the major differences in football and basketball. In football, the players get treated like shit, but the fans are so much more passionate. They care so much. Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders, they always gonna be enemies. And we got on the NBA, we got motherfuckers jumping from team to team. Nigga that had 5 LeBron jerseys. You got niggas that was Lakers fans, Warriors fans, and back Lakers fans again. Extreme dick riding. They're in the same conference. I think they're in the same division. They're in the same state. Do you think people, the Jets and the Giants, not even in the same conference? You think people jump from the Jets and the Giants? You think the Devontae Graham Packers fans became Raiders fans? In huge amounts, and maybe some, maybe a couple, handful. You think in huge amounts like LeBron? Of course, I know LeBron's the biggest star, but y'all know what I mean. It's a lot of people. So has NBA always been just only superstar driven and essentially dick riding? A lot of us was Bulls fans in the 90s. There's a lot of people that was Bulls fans in the 90s. You was a kid, but you was a Bulls fan. Ain't no niggas been Saints and Falcons fans. That's just not gonna happen. Ain't no nigga ever been a Saints fan and then grew up and then became, oh, I like the Falcons a little more now. That ain't ever happened. So basketball's getting worse. The football's getting better. I don't think I'm telling any surprises here. Let me know what y'all think. Um, the drama in NBA is just so ridiculous, man. Just so ridiculous. Is then the entire timeline of basketball has been shut down because of 2 players. How bad is that? How terrible is that? We're not discussing nothing just because football is kind of cranking back up. The keys just went. The keys ain't even in the car. The keys is in the car door. It's old school. I know niggas got, I'm talking old school car. The keys ain't even in the door. Nigga ain't even open the door yet. Roll a window down with their hand. Real men. Forearm strength. None of that is happening. College boy, like, subscribe, and I'll holler.